Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Authorities released the name of a local man killed in a crash. What San Antonio police are now saying about charges.
And in Ukraine, why just a week of fighting has sharply changed the course of the conflict.
Bad news for Cowboys fans as quarterback Dak Prescott gets injured in last night's game against Tampa Bay.
Taking a look outside with live cam, 73 degrees, 4:30 this morning. A lot less humidity, it felt like this morning. Mike will talk about that in just a bit.
You read my mind. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. It is September 12th. Sarah is in for Steph this morning. Good to have you here. You noticed it, too, as soon as you walked out the door?
Immediately, because usually that's the first thing that, slaps me in the face. Hey, humidity, wake up. This morning, I was like, oh, I could do this.
This is quite a bit more comfortable. And Mike, what's that?
It's just nice.
Yes, and credit where credit due. You hinted that this was likely early this week.
It started moving in late. Most of the day yesterday was still fairly humid, but then the wind started shifting around late in the afternoon. You could feel the humidity drop down a little bit more. And it's just beautiful out there. So we've got clear skies. We've got temperatures right now, 74 here in town, 63 Bernie Stage, Comfort 63 as well as in Kerrville. I think I'm going down to 69 degrees this morning and very good chance that we're going to be getting into the upper 50s in portions of the hill country. Here's the reason why these temperatures, the dew point temperatures, have really dropped down. Think back to even yesterday morning or before that, even last week. These numbers were up in the upper 60s, low 70s. And now look at that, Bernie Stage at 59 degrees. That's below that threshold of 60, and that's why it's really comfortable. And all these numbers down in the 60s. It is much more pleasant. We do have mold on the moderate side. Same thing with fall elm. And like I said this morning, I think here in town, going for 69 degrees. That would be the coolest since late June, although I think that was a little influenced by some rain that we had. Otherwise, it would be the coolest other than that that morning in late June back to late May. Yeah, it's really nice out there. 95 for a high temperature. So it is going to be hot, but low humidity, so it will be comfortable. How long does the low humidity last? And when's our next chance for some rain? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. The driver of an 18-wheeler is not expected to face any charges in a deadly crash that happened on Friday. However, the Bexar County Medical Examiner has identified the other driver who was killed in the crash. He is identified as 44-year-old Juan Lea. According to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's office, the crash happened on North Weidner Road near Crosswinds Way and I-35. San Antonio police say Lea's car was on the I-35 access road when it drove into an 18-wheeler going through a green light. He was taken to BAMC in serious condition, where he later died.
Now to the ground war in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces are gaining ground and reclaiming Russian-held territory in a massive counteroffensive.
In Moscow, there's new concern about Russian resources amid waning support for the war. ABC's Justin Finch has a story from Washington.
This morning, signs Ukraine is making headway in its wide-ranging counteroffensive. Ukrainian fighters raising their nation's flag in the area of Izium in the northeastern Kharkiv region. This map showing in blue more than 1,000 square miles of land Ukrainian officials say they've taken back near Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. In its nightly address, Ukraine's President Zelensky saying the path to victory is difficult, but that troops will manage. Already, Ukraine's escalating attacks are forcing Russians to retreat.
This operation was possible because of the resolve of the armed forces, because our commanders, from the president to every commander in the battlefield, are so devoted to the victory.
Back in Moscow, Putin celebrating the capital city's anniversary as the Kremlin is now under pressure to acknowledge it's facing war in Ukraine with strained resources to hold on to areas it's claimed. ABC's Ian Pannell says the tides are turning against Russia at a crucial time.
I mean, the options don't look great. I mean, there are very, very few. They're in real trouble right now. It can't resupply its troops. It doesn't have troop rotations. It's lacking in the equipment and the ammunition. And as I say, they're on the defensive everywhere.
Russia responded Sunday with attacks on infrastructure, leading to electricity outages and a power station fire that killed one. The massive Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant now shut down with fighting nearby. At the White House, President Biden not commenting on Ukraine's counteroffensive, saying only that, quote, things are in progress. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Today, the coffin of Queen Elizabeth will be taken in a solemn procession from one of her Scottish palaces to the city's historic St. Giles Cathedral before being flown to London tomorrow. Britain's King Charles will fly to Edinburgh today, join other members of the royal family when the procession happens. Since the Queen's death at Balmoral Castle, her Scottish holiday home, a carefully choreographed series of plans to mourn Britain's monarch of 70 years have been put into operation. Yesterday, she was taken by hearse on a 6-hour journey from Balmoral through the picturesque Scottish countryside. Tens of thousands of well-wishers lined the roads to pay their respects, while huge crowds gathered in Edinburgh to greet the arrival.
President Joe Biden has a big goal: cut cancer deaths in half over the next 25 years. It's called the Cancer Moonshot Initiative. He'll talk about where the efforts are in Boston later today. The speech is expected to draw parallels between the push to land on the moon in the 1960s and Biden's own, quote, vision for another American moonshot, a future where we end cancer as we know it. President Biden will deliver his remarks at the John F. Kennedy Library. The cancer cabinet he put together has laid out several key priorities, including closing the screening gap, decreasing the impact of the preventable cancers, bringing cutting-edge research to patients and communities.
At the U.S. Open, Carlos Alcaraz has used his combination of determination and maturity to beat Casper Ruud in the U.S. Open final Sunday to earn his first Grand Slam title at the age of 19. He becomes the youngest man to be ranked number one. Alcaraz, a Spaniard who was appearing in his 8th major tournament and second at Flushing Meadows. He's also attracted plenty of attention as someone who is considered to be the next big thing in men's tennis.
What a great U.S. Open.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So many newcomers love seeing it.
Right now we're at 437, 73 degrees.
All right. I'm sorry, Cowboys. Injuries plague the Dallas Cowboys, including Dak Prescott this weekend, plus an odd ending to the Houston Texans game against Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I still don't know what the Texans were thinking. Right now, let's take a look out at traffic and see if there are any flashing lights or problems to report. And right now, the answer is no. 37 at, I think that was 37 at Military.
Football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
The first full Sunday of NFL games help kick off the 2022 season, including the Cowboys with their second straight season opener against Tom Brady at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and ended with Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott getting a hand injury. Cowboys are already thin at offensive line going into last night's game. They got worse news 7 plays in when left guard Connor McGovern went down with an ankle injury. In the end, Brady and Mike Evans connected on a touchdown. Leonard Fournette ran for 127 yards, and the Bucs dominated the Cowboys 19-3 last night. Dallas drove 54 yards to a field goal on the first possession, but didn't score again, while finishing with the second fewest points in an opener. Brady was in control throughout the first start for a 45-year-old quarterback. The 7-time Super Bowl champ got a big assist from the defense in Todd Bowles' debut as Tampa Bay's coach following 3 seasons as defensive coordinator. Brady, who improved to 7-0 against the Cowboys, was 18 of 17 for 212 yards with 1 pick. Prescott finished 14 of 29 with 134 yards and an interception. Prescott wouldn't even finish the game. His throwing hand got caught twice on follow-throughs. Now Dak will need surgery for a fractured bone in his hand and will miss up to 8 weeks. Up next, Dallas takes on the Bengals. Kickoff is Sunday, 3:25 at AT&T Stadium. Houston Texans taking on the Colts, and we have seen the Texans take an active role in bringing comfort to those affected by the school shooting in Uvalde, and they kept their word, having the varsity football team in attendance as the Texans hosted their rivals from Indy. Matt Ryan rallied Indy in the fourth to force OT against Houston in his Colts debut, but neither team could score in 2 overtime possessions. Texans led 20-3 entering the fourth, but in Coach Lovie Smith's debut, but Ryan led 3 successive scoring drives, culminating his 15-yard touchdown pass to Michael Pittman with just under 2 minutes to go. Indy got the ball back with 1:19 left in regulation, but was forced to punt. Texans had a 3rd and 1 across midfield late in overtime, but inexplicably ran the ball, lost yardage, and they decided to punt. Instead of going forward on 4th down, that game ended in a 20-20 tie.
plan wasn't to lose, of course, yards on that. And I made a decision on 4th and 3. And there's a lot of football left to go in the season. It's kind of simple as that. And I feel like a tie was better than a potential loss. Defensively, we weren't really stopping them off a lot there at the end.
Just got to continue to execute, be better on 3rd down, be better running the football, be better. I got to be more efficient as well. So I think we're close. We got a lot of work on. We're happy with where we're at, but we know we got to keep pushing forward and change the result into a win.
Coach, you could have gone for the end zone and still wound up with a tie. What the heck? Next week, the Texans take on the Broncos. Kickoff Sunday, 3:25 at Mile High. Broncos take on the Seahawks tonight in the debut of Monday Night Football. UTSA had to overcome a lot to take down Army in overtime Saturday. Roadrunners' plane was delayed by 4 hours, and they didn't have a chance to do walkthroughs prior to the game at West Point. UTSA fell behind 28-14 in the fourth, but pieced together a rally thanks to Frank Harris's dual-threat performance. Harris accounted for nearly 400 yards total offense, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner in overtime. They beat Army. Next up, UTSA visits the Longhorns Saturday, 7 o'clock up in Austin, and they are still recovering from a strong performance, but a heartbreaking loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide over the weekend. So a wild weekend in football across the board.
It was really well. I never thought I could watch so much football in one weekend.
But you did.
I did.
You did. Awesome. All right, that's a quick look at sports.
All right, it's 4:44 and 73 degrees. Up next, a first look at the new insight on King Charles III from one of his longtime advisors, why he says Charles is, quote, the best prepared monarch we've ever had. Welcome back. King Charles III's former communications director is speaking out about the new king. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new insight on King Charles III from one of his longtime advisors.
I've never met anyone who has a deeper understanding of self.
Patty Harverson once helped the former prince write speeches. As a communications director to the royal family, he helped shape Charles's image. And this morning, he's sharing his unique perspective with ABC's Deborah Roberts.
Do you truly feel he's ready now for this moment?
Yeah, 100%. He's clearly the best prepared monarch we've ever had. He's the hardest working person I've ever known. I mean that. He never stops. There isn't a day in the year he isn't working.
If the Queen's mantra was all about duty and diligence and responsibility, here in 2022, what is this King's mantra, do you think?
The same. Absolutely the same.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of our interview, plus full live coverage and all the latest details from the United Kingdom. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
This weekend, many first responders showed up to honor the lives of firefighters who died in the 9/11 attacks.
Our crews were there to witness a stair climb at the Tower of Americas.
Firefighters coming up! Go get them, guys!
415 first responders knowingly sacrificed their lives trying to save people from the falling World Trade Centers. Many of our local firefighters do the climb up the tower each year wearing full gear. Inside of the tower, photos of the fallen heroes are displayed on every flight in the stairwell.
We're here to finish what they started, and it's really important to me to be able to do this every year. Teach your kids, teach your loved ones about honoring this day and what this day is really about for all of us.
The World Trade Center towers were 110 stories tall. The Tower of the Americas is 65 flights, so therefore first responders here climbed it twice in honor of those fallen first responders.
Take a look outside with the roads with your traffic authority. 35 in Judson. Lots of cars out this morning. No incidents so far. That's 35 in New Braunfels. If anything pops up, we will let you know about it.
Okay, if you haven't been outside yet, we already kind of spoiled the secret. It feels really nice out there.
I know, it's like that fall feeling. Is it, but, so Sarah Spivey kept saying yesterday, Mike, cool front, it's like a buzzword. Well, and I'm like, does that mean people are gonna get their scarves out and like PSLs on?
It's not that cold front.
Okay.
Yeah, not the one that, comes just barreling on in here and knocks temperatures down and all that. It did obviously pull in some drier air, and that's very, very nice. I mean, we'll take it. This is kind of the first little step leading up to that really good cold fall cold front. All right, we've got just a beautiful sunset yesterday. It was absolutely gorgeous. Had a lot of clouds still kind of left over. We've got mostly clear skies. I saw the moon when I left for work. It was just about right overhead. It is the waning full moon right now, or waning gibbous moon, I should say, because it was full, obviously, on Saturday. And clear skies and dry air, light wind. This is the reason why temperatures have dropped down. Dew points compared to this time yesterday are a good 5, 6, 7 degrees, in some cases lower than what they were yesterday morning. So it was still fairly humid out there yesterday. And then the humidity dropped down late in the day. So I think we're going to be dropping down to 69 degrees, and we'll drop another 5 over the course of the next couple of hours. And again, that would be the coolest low temperature since late June. But I think that may have been because we had some rain the day before and overnight. So you have to go back to, with no rain, all the way back to late May to get a temperature that cool. Then it's going to warm up quickly with this dry air, 79 already by 10 o'clock, and it will be add another 10 to that by noon, 89 degrees, and it is going to be a hot one. The normal high right now is at 91, so we will be on the warm side. However, with that lower humidity, that's going to make it not as uncomfortable out there. And as far as any rain, nothing. The past few days we've had a couple of pop-up showers here and there, but the air is just too dry right now. And so that's going to be the case today, tomorrow, and pretty much on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, we'll start to see the humidity, I hate to say, come back into the picture. It begins its return later tomorrow. So we'll still start off nice and pleasant in the morning, and then the humidity is going to start to come back in here, and then eventually some little disturbances. And again, this computer model, long range, always kind of paints things in with a broad brush. But Thursday, Friday, and then going into Saturday a little bit, we do have a chance for just a couple of stray showers around here. And then after that, it looks like we may be staying also on the warm side. The cloud cover is going to knock temperatures down a little bit by the end of the week and the weekend. But yeah, until then, it's going to be fairly hot. 89 at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 95 today. Plenty of sunshine out there. Very pleasant. In the shade is going to be really, really nice. Tomorrow, we start off at 70 again. Humidity starts to creep back into the picture, and we'll start hanging in the low 70s, and then that 20% chance for a couple of showers by perhaps late Wednesday, more like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And again, it's not going to rain everywhere nor constantly, just that little chance of rain comes back in here. At least temperatures, although right now 91, 71 are the normal high and low, so close to normal even by the weekend.
Did I hear you say earlier that temperatures may fall into the 50s by daybreak out in the hill country today?
We've got a couple of readings at 63 right now.
Okay.
And so we've still got, sun doesn't come up until about quarter after 20 after 7. So we've still got another, 2.5 hours of cooling to go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's I'm going for, so.
Fantastic. Those first little early signs of changes. Thank you, Mike. 453, 73 degrees.
It was a big weekend for Disney. We're checking out some of the new trailers for Star Wars, Marvel, and a remake of a classic Disney film.
But first, your lottery numbers. Pick 3819, Fireball 0. Daily board numbers 2785, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 1, 4, 23, 27, 34. Texas Lotto 3, 5, 6, 14, 25, 40. And Powerball 38, 42, 56, 68, 69, Powerball 4, Power Play 2.
Welcome back. We get a new look at season 3 of The Mandalorian. Plus, Samuel L. Jackson is back for another Marvel series.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson.
All right, kid. Hang on.
The third season trailer for The Mandalorian was one of the many, many highlights from Disney's D23 Expo in Anaheim, California over the weekend.
We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark.
We also got a new trailer for Andor, bowing on Disney Plus September 21st.
And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
Samuel L. Jackson's back as Nick Fury in the first trailer for the new Marvel series Secret Invasion, dropping next year.
Part of that
And we got our first look at Halle Bailey as Ariel in the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. You can find the trailers and more news online. Disney's parent company of ABC News. The horror flick Barbarian bowed in first place with a better-than-expected $10 million, but that's cold comfort to exhibitors. It still caps the second-worst box office weekend of the year. And powerhouse singer, actress, and EGOT winner Jennifer Hudson's 41 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
It's 4:57 and 72 degrees.
As people continue to remember Queen Elizabeth, we'll let you know what's next as she's honored today in a special procession.
And we'll tell you about some all-new smart features that are arriving on your iPhone thanks to a new Apple update.
And Stephen will have his first update this morning here in the studio as we take a live look at 10 and Frio Street with a shot of downtown on the upper left corner of that screen. You're watching GMSA. We are just getting things rolling here. 2 hours still to come.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The people of Scotland given one final chance to say goodbye to their queen. I'm Inez de la Quatera in London, and I'll have all the latest coming up.
Stepping outside this morning, much different feeling, less humidity out there. Mike will let us know how long this will stick around for in just a bit.
And our next chance of rain, we'll talk about that coming up. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, September 12th.
Thanks so much for watching us this morning. I really enjoyed walking out and not having the humidity just like immediately cling to you, stick to you.
Yeah, very comfy this morning, Mike. And as we plan our day, how are we looking for this afternoon?
Hot, but low humidity. So it'll be a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, we are going to be way, way above normal by a good 4 degrees or so, mid-90s. But again, with that lower humidity, it's going to be somewhat more comfortable. We're not quite down to our normal low temperature, which is 71 degrees, but we will continue to drop down thanks to that bottom number, which is at 63, the dew point temperature, which, yeah, it's a whole lot better. I mean, that's 5, 6 degrees, 7 degrees lower than what it was at this time yesterday morning. That light wind out of the north is helping to pull in some of that drier air. Plus, we've got some clear skies right now, so we've got some good ingredients for, I mean, not really, really good radiational cooling, but no cloud cover or any blanket on top of us to hold things in. Then dry air heats up very easily, so we make it up to 95 for a high temperature later on today. The aquifer yesterday did go up half a foot, and that's some good news. And the allergens, mold, and fall elm are both on the moderate side. So a little bit of a breeze out there, or no breeze at all. And again, these are some of the ingredients to help temperatures get down so cool. And actually, we're going to be flirting with some of the upper 50s in portions of the hill country. Downright cool. You might need a light sweatshirt or something like that for the kids. Stuff in the backpack later on this afternoon, though. And going to have mostly sunny skies. Hot, but again, low humidity, so that's going to be much more comfortable. Same thing tomorrow. However, the humidity is going to start to come back on in here throughout the day tomorrow, so then it won't be as crisp, as pleasant. It'll still be nice, but not like this morning once we get into the latter portion of the week. And then we'll have also a couple of showers coming in here, by just 1 or 2 of them by the latter half of the week, maybe even starting off the weekend. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Stephen. What's going on?
Happy Monday, Mike. Well, thankfully not a lot going on over here as we get a look at the roadways. There's 281 at San Pedro, 1604 at Military. You can see that we just have a few vehicles off to a pretty easy start this early Monday morning, but I did notice it did look like there was a stalled vehicle off in the shoulder lane, somewhere off 90, so be on the lookout for that, and I'll pinpoint exactly which direction that's in. But thankfully, as we get a look around town, 10 at Hackberry is pretty quiet there. Let's just take you to the map, because there's really not a lot to show you out there. Of course, we see that scattered road closures, and you can see right now the one thing we have not spotted are any slowdowns just yet. It is still fairly early in the morning, so a lot of folks are probably still just waking up, getting their cup of coffee, and barely getting their morning started. Hey, enjoy it right now, because if you do have to head out in the next few minutes, thankfully, you're in luck. There's no need to rush out the door. It is still pretty green if you're traveling in the westbounds of I-10, heading in from Seguin. 28 minutes at this hour. Livernia looks like 87 northbound. You have about 33 minutes you can expect for that drive time, and about 28 minutes for our friends down in Flotusville for those that are going to make their way to the Alamo City. But let's take it back here in town. 410 at Perrin Vital doesn't look too bad. 281 by the airport, off to a quiet start. Of course, you know what that means. We'll talk road closures coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. Taking a live look outside Buckingham Palace this morning, Queen Elizabeth will lie in state at St. Giles Cathedral today after a short procession from a palace in Edinburgh, Scotland.
And the Queen's coffin arrived in the Scottish capital Sunday afternoon after a 175-mile journey from her estate in Balmoral, where she died on Thursday.
ABC's Ines de la Cuetara is in London this morning with the latest.
This morning, Britain's new King and Queen Consort meeting with members of Parliament at Westminster Hall before traveling back to Scotland, joining other members of the royal family for a procession to St. Giles Cathedral, where the Queen's coffin will lie in rest to allow the people of Scotland to pay their respects. The Queen's final journey beginning on Sunday, her casket draped in the Scottish royal standard, adorned with a wreath of her favorite flowers, leaving her beloved Balmoral estate and taking the long road towards Edinburgh.
Just important to say goodbye. She's been on the throne for a long time. So, yeah, it means a lot. Sorry.
Across the Scottish countryside, thousands lining the way to say goodbye.
She loved Ballater, she loved Royal Deeside, and we loved her as well.
Some even throwing flowers as the hearse drove by. In some places, farmers showing up with an honor guard of tractors.
It was the farming community doing their part to show their appreciation for what she'd done for agriculture.
Later down the road, a dozen horses paying tribute to the Queen, an equestrian in her younger years. And in Edinburgh, this final leg of the procession eventually met by members of the Royal Regiment of Scotland.
We're part of history standing here.
Some of the Queen's children greeting the coffin in silence, Princess Anne giving a curtsy. Charles III also formally proclaimed king in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales.
And the Queen will lie in state in London for 4 days starting on Wednesday. Members of the public are being warned to expect long lines and security checks, and visitors are also being asked to dress appropriately and stay silent once they're inside Westminster Hall. Ines de la Cuetara, ABC News, London. Here at home, 2 different health organizations are giving out the COVID-19 bivalent vaccine booster shots in San Antonio this week. Here's what you need to know. Starting today, University Health will be offering Pfizer's version to people 12 years and older with no appointment needed. Metro Health is offering the Moderna version at its clinics and pop-up vaccination sites. This will be a first-come, first-served basis because supplies are limited. These new updated booster shots fight the COVID-19 Omicron variant and its highly contagious subvariant BA4 and BA5. For more information on how you can get your booster, head to KSAT.com.
San Antonio Police and Crime Stoppers need your help solving a murder case. Back on September 8, 2018, SAPD says the victim, 44-year-old Harriet Chase, was standing in the parking lot of a smokehouse in the 5800 block of I-10 East, just east of Loop 410, and that's when 2 unknown men standing nearby pulled out a gun and started shooting at him. Police say Chase was hit once and died at the scene. The suspect got away in a white vehicle. The information on this case, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. You could get a cash reward for information you provide. Right now, it is 5:08, 72 degrees.
How Apple's latest software update is bringing new features to your iPhone.
A local 9-year-old who had cancer now in remission. She's counting down the days she has left in her treatment, and she has an important message for everyone in San Antonio.
72 degrees at 5:08 this morning. If you have a plan to be outside to do your morning walk or run, you're in for a nice treat. Lower humidity. How long will we experience this low humidity? And can we see rain later in the week? Mike will let us know when we come back.
Just about 5:12, welcome back. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the ribbon of support is colored gold.
A local 9-year-old girl is battling leukemia, and she wants the rest of San Antonio to join her in her fight by going gold. Mia Bettis was diagnosed on New Year's Day in 2021. She's in remission now and counting down the 36 weeks until she's completed her treatment. Her street is lined with supportive signs, but the golden touch stretches 83 miles west down Highway 90 to a community covered in maroon. Mia's cousin, Tess Mata, was one of the 21 victims killed at Robb Elementary. Teresa, Mia's mom, says they wouldn't have been able to get through this difficult time without each other.
with Mia's cancer diagnosis, you know, the whole family's there to support her. With Tessa's passing, the whole family's there to support each other.
Now they're hoping San Antonio will support them by going gold and donating to childhood cancer research. There's a local nonprofit called Gabriella Smile Foundation. Mia is partnering with them right now on KSAT.com. We have a link to Mia's fundraising site where you can donate to help others like her.
Awesome. 512, 72 degrees.
All right, bad news for DirecTV after a major sports feature crashed on opening weekend.
Plus, which new mobile games are soon arriving exclusively on Netflix?
Welcome to Allstate, where anyone who bundles their home and auto insurance saves. Isn't that right, Phil?
Sorry, I'm a little busy.
What in the world are you doing?
I'm in the metaverse, bundling my home and auto insurance.
Why don't you just do that in the real world?
Because now I can bundle in space. Watch this.
I still don't get it. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
It's the most wonderful time of day.
Claritin provides non-drowsy symptom relief from over 200 indoor and outdoor allergens day after day. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year with Claritin Clear.
Age before beauty? Why not both? Visibly diminished wrinkled skin in just 2 days. New Quick Corrector Lotion, only from Gold Bond. Championing your skin.
516, Apple's latest software update is bringing several smart new features to your iPhone. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is offering a series of new features today with the release of iOS 16. The update for the iPhone 8 and newer includes the ability to personalize your lock screen. You can choose customized fonts, layered wallpapers, photo shuffling, and more. And it also lets you...
She's the stillest anchor I've ever seen in my life.
She can speak without moving her lips. Wow.
So we had audio, but clearly a video issue. We'll try to come back to that at a later point.
All right, we're going to check in with Steven Cavazos. Good morning, Steven.
I thought we were just reading her mind. All right, let's get a look here at traffic because thankfully we are taking a look here at some quiet roadways. 35 at Judson. You can see it's a little bit of a busier commute right there, but 35 you can always expect it to be a little bit busier than other spots. But at New Braunfels, 37 at Fair Avenue doesn't look too bad at this point. But let's get you to the map because as I mentioned, it's been a pretty quiet morning, but I may have just jinxed myself. You see that crash icon? It's right near the west side of San Antonio, 410, where it meets 90. So we'll have to take a closer look. I'll get our friends at TransGuide on the phone, find out exactly if we can get a shot of the conditions out there. But be on the lookout because this is something we told you about last week over off I-10 in the east side of Bexar County. We have one more night to go, guys, where we saw barrier work that started overnight on Friday, September 9th, and tonight, September 12th, we have another night to go. So 9 in the evening, 5 in the morning is when crews will be out there. And what we'll see is a full closure of the westbound main lanes from File Road to Loop 1604. But that information, of course, is on our website right now. I'm wondering if we can pop up a QR code. And there it is. Go ahead and open your camera app, scan that QR code by tapping the center of your screen. That's going to take you directly to our KSAT traffic page, and it has a list of all the closures taking place in and around the Alamo City. Guys.
Thank you, Steve. We may have a finalist for one of the best pictures of the year on KSAT Connect.
I cannot get enough of this picture, Mike.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, getting ready to land at the airport, and this was on Saturday about 6:30. And look at that rain shaft right there. I'm always trying to figure out exactly where it is, where they're looking. I can't tell right now, but yeah, that's just a really cool, bit of a rough ride coming in too. You're that close to one of those storms, but
yeah, I see a couple highways there in that water tower, but it's hard to really distinguish where in the area that is. Doesn't matter. I mean, they were getting a deluge, weren't they, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, that was just like just getting dumped on in that one little spot. And even though it looks very impressive, that is a very tiny little thing. And that's what the case was on Saturday, even yesterday with a couple of those showers. Great picture. Thank you very much for that one. We've got mostly clear skies right now, and temperature stands at 73. The normal low is 71, so we're not done cooling off yet. 70 Helotes, and look at that, low 60s down to 62 right now in Comfort. And I'm betting that we're going to be hitting the upper 50s before it's all said and done in portions of the hill country this morning. And the reason being, we've got These dew points down in the low 60s. Now you've got to get below, like Los Maples is in the upper 50s. You can't drop any lower than what these numbers are, but we will in some cases continue to just get a little bit drier air moving on in here. And I think here in town we will eventually bottom out at 69 degrees this morning, and then plenty of sunshine, warms up very quickly. We're going to make it all the way up to 89 degrees at noon. And again, that's the reason, or one of the benefits of the dry air. It doesn't hold the heat in, but it heats up quite easily. So we'll gain 20 degrees between the low and then just noontime, and then top off at 95 later on today. So we are going to be on the warm side of things later on this afternoon. Here's the satellite radar loop going back 12 hours, and we had a couple of more of those showers, that little line. And once again, everything was coming in north to south. That's the overall sort of flow in the atmosphere. And up to the northeast of us, Great Lakes, this is this low pressure area which has pulled this front on through here. Huge rainmaker. They've been getting just tons and tons of rain. Actually delayed some of the college football games on Saturday up there in portions of the Great Lakes, and Chicago got drenched as well. That's going to continue to work its way off to the northeast, and that's going to take all of that with it and actually give them some nice weather. And for us, we stay very nice today. Plenty of sunshine, low humidity, albeit on the warm side, and another pleasant morning tomorrow, but then the humidity is going to start to make its return. Still be okay, I think, tomorrow, but then by Wednesday, Thursday, we'll start to see a couple of showers around here. Not a lot, just one or two of them. Again, this is kind of a broad brush computer model, and that'll be the case going into Saturday as well. Quick check of the tropics, and of course, Saturday was the peak day as far as the tropical season is concerned. We had Danielle for a while, we had Earl for a while. Those are gone. A little disturbance there. Just basically 10% chance that it may turn into something, and there's a little wave that's going to be coming off the African coast, and that's it as far as right now. So now we still have just under 3 months to go in the tropical season, and as of right now, there's just nothing going on out there. 89, mostly sunny skies today at noon. High temperature up to 95. Low humidity, so it's going to be comfortable. Great looking day. And then tomorrow, more of the same, although, like I said, in the afternoon, the humidity is going to start to make its return. We may see a sprinkle late Wednesday, at least a chance of it, but I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, only a 20% chance for some rain. Slightly more humid, but temperatures won't be out of control. Actually, I think cloud cover keeps us down just a little bit going into the weekend.
Okay, Sarah, do you approve of that forecast?
Yeah, I mean, I could use some lower temps Monday through Wednesday.
Me too.
And I don't really like the humidity returning, but I mean, we'll pass you, Mike.
We'll pass you for now. Okay. Right.
Guess what? We're stuck with it.
Yeah, we are. He's like, I only have control over what I say. And that's it.
Just the messenger.
Yes, 522, 72 degrees.
All right, next in your morning spotlight, a preview of Steven Spielberg's semi-autobiographical The Fabelmans, plus a look at the sequel Disenchanted.
Yeah, hearing rave reviews about Spielberg's new movie. They say it's an immediate Oscar frontrunner. Pick three numbers this morning: 819 Fireball 0. Daily four numbers: 2785 Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 1, 4, 23, 27, 34. Texas Lotto 3, 5, 6, 14, 25, 40. And Powerball 38, 42, 56, 68, 69. Powerball 4, Power Play 2.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is offering a series of new features today with the release of iOS 16. The update for the iPhone 8 and newer includes the ability to personalize your lock screen. You can choose customized fonts, layered wallpapers, photo shuffling, and more. And it also lets you edit or unsend iMessages. DirecTV dropping the ball in the NFL's opening weekend. Fans had trouble getting into the company's website and app and couldn't access the Sunday ticket package. DirecTV notified users that the issue was resolved midway through Sunday's late games, though problems continued. Finally, Ubisoft and Netflix have reached a deal to release the new Assassin's Creed game, which will be included with the Netflix subscription. The game is said to be in the works. 2 other games are included in the deal. They're all expected to launch next year. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Well, between film festivals and Disney's D23 event, it's a great time for movie fans.
CNN's David Daniel has a trio of the sneak peeks in today's Hollywood Minute.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
Here's your first look at Steven Spielberg's semi-autobiographical drama, The Fabelmans, which premiered at the Toronto Film Festival. Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, and Gabriel LaBelle star in the film based on Spielberg's own childhood. The Fabelmans opens in limited release November 11th and in wide release November 23rd.
In Andalasia, the hardest part of life is finding your happily ever after. This world's very different.
If this world is not to your liking, then you must change it.
I wish.
Catch up with the cast of Enchanted a decade later in the sequel, Disenchanted. When Giselle begins using magic to change her family's new suburban life to her liking, can she control what happens and resist turning into a wicked stepmother? Disenchanted debuts on Disney Plus November 24th.
Mr. Fikri, why don't you tell me something about your lifestyle?
I'm 39 years old. I live alone. I subsist on a diet of frozen entrees. I'm not what you'd call an alcoholic, but I like to drink until I pass out at least once a week. And since my wife died, I hate my work.
Kunal Nayar's life turns around when he discovers and adopts a child and eventually finds unexpected love with Lucy Hale in The Storied Life of A.J. Fikri, based on the best-selling novel. The film attempts to woo theatergoers beginning October 7th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So many to choose from.
No kidding. Lots there. 528, 72 degrees.
All right, classified documents are still the forefront of an FBI search on the former President Trump's home. Why a judge is saying the Justice Department shouldn't have those documents right away.
Big drug bust over in Del Rio. Why border officials are calling it the biggest methamphetamine bust ever in the state of Texas. Making headlines this morning, why the U.S. Justice Department says it needs more access to classified documents taken from former President Donald Trump's home in Florida.
If you're not a fan of humidity, this morning is your morning. How long this lower humidity trend will stick around for, Michael, let us know in just a bit.
And a good morning to you. It is Monday, September 12th.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This weekend, I went out, I did some trail walking and stuff, and even though it was like 95 degrees at some points or 92 degrees in the shade, Mike, it felt actually nicer, especially yesterday afternoon. That's why when I believe the humidity was starting to lower.
Yes, late in the afternoon is when the wind started shifting around a little bit more when that weak cool front, if you will, moved on through here. Prior to that, it was still a bit, it wasn't oppressively humid, but it's a whole lot better this morning, that's for sure. 73 right now, that number is down to 63. You always like to get below 60. That's when it's really, really comfortable. But again, it ain't bad at all. Northerly wind at just a light wind, 3 miles per hour. We've got low 60s in the hill country right now, 69 at Port SA, 70 Seguin, as well as Gonzales. And yeah, look at these beautiful numbers here. We actually have, all the way from Burning Stage, Bandera over toward Los Maples, below 60 dew points, 61 at Kerrville right now. And with this dry air, clear skies, mostly clear skies, very light wind. Temperatures will continue to drop down over the course of the next couple of hours. Mold and fall elm are both on the moderate side. The updated count's going to come out just after about 7 o'clock this morning. 89 at noon, and then plenty of sunshine today. It is going to be on the hot side. Normal high is 91. We're going to be up to 95 degrees, but with that drier air, it will be more comfortable. Big question is, how long does the humidity stay away, or we keep this lower humidity in here? And what about our next rain chance? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, anything going on yet?
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet over here, Mike. Thankfully, not a lot to talk about and not a lot to show you out there. Just some pavement there at 281 at Evans. Early bird commuters. Thankfully, nothing is slowing you down just yet, but you can see 410 at Culebra. It is getting a little bit busier out on some spots. 37 at Jones Avenue is one of those areas, but if your travels are going to take you there to the airport, still pretty quiet at 281 at 410. There at Hildebrand, though, watch out for that curve. Everywhere else looks pretty fine. We take you right here to the map, and so I looked into this particular incident near 90. It does look like some sort of spillage has been reported by our map. Need to get our friends at Transcat on the phone, find out exactly what the conditions look like. If we're able able to get a TransGuide camera, but I'm not spotting anything just yet. But I'll keep you posted and find out exactly how that could hinder your commute. But thankfully, nothing is stopping or slowing anyone down if you're coming into the Alamo City from any of these areas. A pleasant drive from Pleasanton on 37 northbound with 28 minutes at this hour. Like the usual time, about half an hour it's going to take you if you are traveling on Highway 90 in the eastbound lanes from Castroville. And that arrival from Lytle looks like about 16 minutes on I-35 northbound. Let's take it back to TransGuide. One last look there at 35 at Judson. There at New Braunfels, traffic is moving just fine, but we're going to have updates throughout the morning and keep you posted. Mark, Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. It's a matter of national security. That's why the Justice Department says it wants access to classified documents seized from former President Donald Trump's home.
A judge has ruled a special master should go through them first, but as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, the DOJ says it needs the documents now.
I'm concerned, like any American should be.
The Justice Department says it needs continued access to the classified documents seized from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. According to the DOJ, it's a matter of national security.
Classified, yes, top secret. But the consequences of the wrong people seeing this, the wrong people getting their hands on this, is significant.
Former Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says he's worried the documents could identify U.S. intelligence sources. He says this public battle over them could make allies think twice about providing the U.S. with information.
We can't do it without partners. We can't do it without allies.
A judge has paused the DOJ's review of the documents. She wants to appoint a special master to filter out potentially privileged information first. But the Justice Department says it needs to see the documents now. Trump's response to that request due this morning.
I would have been so much more respectful of the department and of this attorney general if they turned around and said, you know what, good idea to have a special master. We have nothing to hide.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Check this out. U.S. Customs and Border Protection announcing the largest ever seizure of meth at the Del Rio port of entry. Border Protection officers say the meth is valued at nearly $12 million. Made the discovery Monday after an officer referred the truck for a secondary inspection. Officers say it was hauling the shipment of diesel tank reservoir containers. The inspection found 320 packages with 1,337 pounds of meth.
An FDA-approved weight loss medication can help reduce type 2 diabetes. Now, according to research, semaglutide reduces the risk of diabetes in patients with obesity by over 60%. The lead researcher says sustained treatment is required to maintain that benefit. Previous research from February of 2021 found it, if injected once weekly, it helped overweight and obese people lose an average of 15% of their body weight over 16 months. In June of 2021, the FDA approved it for long-term weight control. Semaglutide was approved as a treatment for type 2 diabetes back in 2017.
Of course, yesterday was the anniversary of 9/11, and nearly 60 flights were delayed at Newark International Airport Sunday afternoon after reports of a suspicious package. Port Authority New York says everyone on level 1 of the airport was evacuated out of precaution. During the investigation, police removed a pipe-like device. The FBI will test to determine its makeup. After the investigation, authorities gave the all clear and reopened the lower level. Newark International also tweeted that some roads around the airport were congested after that reopening. As a result, the FAA held flight activity for arriving flights until mid-afternoon yesterday.
It's 5:37 and 72 degrees.
Why 3 of the major credit card companies are changing the way they recognize firearm sales.
And we're checking out how local unemployment numbers are finally rebounding, plus a new partnership involving the San Antonio Food Bank.
Outside with Live Camp, seems like for weeks and weeks and weeks we were hovering right around 80 degrees this time of morning. Check out your screen. We're down to a pleasant 72, and it feels like 72 out there this morning. You're watching GMSA on a Monday. Just shy of 541. There's a lot of talk recently about the economy, interest rates, and jobs. So what impact are we seeing here in our community?
Workforce Solutions Alamo CEO Adrian Lopez joined us on Leading SA this weekend to break it all down.
September is Workforce Development Month, and Adrian Lopez joined us. We talked about a lot. We talked about the high market participation. We talked about how the unemployment rate now is not too far off of what it was pre-pandemic. And we also talked about the new partnership between Workforce Solutions Alamo and the food bank. Here's a little bit of our conversation.
When we see the numbers of thousands of people who are lined up to seek out food assistance and are in their most vulnerable time, that's where we want to be. And that's what this partnership actually represents, the power of partnership between Workforce Solutions Alamo and the San Antonio Food Bank. So we have a satellite office that now is operating there. So as people are receiving food and signing up for benefits, they also have an opportunity to actually receive services from Workforce Solutions Alamo.
You can check out the full discussion right now. Just head to the Leading Essay section of KSAT.com. We have Leading Essay every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
Thank you, Max. 542, still 72 degrees.
And next, Elon Musk's college girlfriend is auctioning off some unique items. We'll tell you why they're expected to go for thousands of dollars. In your morning consumer headlines, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express will add a new merchant category for firearms retailers. It's a victory for gun control advocates. This comes after pressing the financial industry to do more to help curb mass shootings. The new category was approved by an international entity that sets industry standards. Until now, gun shops were categorized as specialty or durable goods sellers. This code is for businesses that primarily sell firearms. So big box retailers have different merchant category codes. The card networks say they will implement it while supporting lawful purchases and protecting consumer privacy.
A new consumer report shows that Americans splurged in the spending over the past year or so compared to 2020. Federal government reports they spent an average of nearly more than $300,000 on entertainment in 2021. It's up 22.7% from 2020 and surpasses 2019 levels by more than 15%. The amount U.S. consumers spend on items like campers, boats, concert tickets, sporting events, toys, and TVs is now the highest on record.
Well, maybe you should hold on to your ex's stuff. It could be lucrative later on, at least if your ex turns out to be the wealthiest man in the world. The former girlfriend of tech entrepreneur Elon Musk is auctioning off memorabilia and photos. So Jennifer Gwynn started dating Musk back in 1994 when they both worked in a university dorm. Some of the items being sold are 18 candid photos of the entrepreneur at the University of Pennsylvania. There's also a necklace gifted to her from her birthday and a signed birthday card. According to the auction company, is expected to go for more than $10,000. Tesla superfans can place a bid until Wednesday.
But still, the whole premise of saving your ex's stuff is a little off to me.
No, give it back.
It's called an X for a reason, right?
Let's move on.
Yeah. Gotta move on. Speaking of moving on, 547.
Steven.
You know what they call that? They call that an Xbox. An Xbox, like but you know what? At least, she's potentially making a pretty penny off of it. So I guess there's some benefit. And you know what? Things are moving just fine over here. US 90 at Nogalitos. Yeah, traffic's moving along just fine. 281 right by the airport. It is getting a little bit busier, but we are inching closer to 6 a.m. So obviously, we're going to expect the traffic commute to definitely pick up. But thankfully, I would say right now, good time to head out the door, get the morning started early, and grab that cup of coffee. But right there, I-10 at Callahan, you saw how busy it was getting. Let's take you right over here to the map, though. We're not seeing any slowdowns despite the commute getting a little bit busier, but it does look like a stall popped up off of 281. We'll find out exactly what that looks like, where it's at, and if it's slowing anything else down. But let's go ahead and take you to some issues. They are not issues. I wouldn't call this an issue, but for some it could be an issue if you don't plan ahead of time. 281 on the north side of San Antonio. We talked about this last week. Bridge work will take place on Friday, so we have a few days to prepare, guys. It will be overnight, 8 in the evening. You late night owls, our early bird commuters, expect that to wrap up around 5 in the morning. So it'll be a full night closure, but also you'll see that closure at the intersection of Wilderness Oaks. So while I'm still waiting for TxDOT to send me an updated list of the traffic closures, but you can still head over to our website, ksat.com/traffic. There are a few closures that are still taking place on our website. Of course, we'll update that once we get that information. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Sure.
You have a beautiful moon behind the harvest moon?
Yeah, harvest moon was Saturday, the full moon that's closest to the autumnal equinox. But I love the caption there. So it's almost like a poem. The waning harvest moon grasped by the leaves of the live oak tree.
Well, when you say it like that.
I know.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, they did a great job. Right? I like that. So
You could read the contents of your trash bag and it would sound.
Good point. All right. We've got mostly clear sky. Sky, yes. Okay, enough with the poetic stuff there. Mostly clear skies right now. The moon is going to be setting shortly, and then, of course, it will rise just about the time the sun is going down later on this evening. Still going to be beautiful out there. It was gorgeous this morning, even though it is a couple of days past full. 73 right downtown, 72 Converse, and low 60s, mid to low 60s, parts of the hill country. Maybe even a little bit of a sweatshirt up here in the hill country this morning. And again, the reason for it is it's very dry air. We are in the low 60s. You want to be below 60, which is the case, obviously, Lost Maples, Bernie Stage. But, this is not bad at all, especially compared to where we were even over the weekend. We will drop down. I'm going for 69 when it's all said and done here in town, which would be the coolest that we've been for a low temperature since all the way back the end of June, which that may have been influenced a little bit by some of the rain around there. So just as far as a, not rain influenced low temperature, you'd have to go all the way back to late May. It's going to warm up quickly this morning. Plenty of sunshine, 89 at noon, and then 95 high temperature today. Lots of sunshine. Still that bit of a northeasterly breeze, and so that will keep the humidity on the lower side. So it will be very comfortable. So nothing going on today, nothing going on tomorrow, as well as Wednesday. Then we get into the latter portion of the week, and a couple of showers going to be trying to move on into the area later Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just one or two of them here and there. This, of course, kind of paints them with a broad brush. It's not anything like everybody's going to be seeing rain, but just a small chance for a little bit of rain around here. Here's what's going on. So we've got this huge low. That's the big rainmaker up there in the Great Lakes. That's what pulled that weak front through here. Obviously not a blast of cold air, but the drier air, very comfortable. That will be the case throughout the day tomorrow. Then that low gets on out of here. The high builds back in. Humidity is going to start to work its way back on in here, and that's going to keep us fairly high and dry. Now, it will be far enough off to the east of us. We get some little more humidity, little disturbances coming on in here, and that's why the chance for some rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. After that, then the high is going to start to set up camp again, almost right on top of us going into latter part of the weekend next week, and that is not a good situation as far as getting any cold fronts moving through here or any rain. So it looks like it's going to be kind of hotter and dry going into then next week. 89 degrees, mostly sunny skies at noon today, and a high temperature is going to make it up to 95, so we'll be 4 above normal, but with a lower humidity, it is going to be comfortable out there. And then tomorrow, about the same situation. Humidity is going to start to come back in the afternoon, and notice how the low temperatures then the end of the week are going to be more low mid-ish 70s. Is that a word? Yeah.
What, mid-ish?
Yes.
Sure.
Use it in a sentence. Then we'll be in the low 90s by the weekend. I think it's an extra cloud cover, so.
Okay. Mid-ish. M-I-D-D-I-S-H? Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. 5:52, 72 degrees.
The harvest moon covered by...
Oh my gosh, you're going to put me to sleep.
Have Mike read Lotto that way, right?
I know, right?
It'll be like Stuart Smalley's Deep Thoughts.
9.
Go for it, Mike.
Go, Mike, go.
What's the number of the...
Fireball.
Yeah.
Powerball, or Fireball, 027.
Oh, take it back over, Sarah.
All right, Daily 4, 2785, Fireball 0.
Cash 5 numbers 1, 4, 23, 27, 34. Lotto Texas 3, 5, 6, 14, 25, 40. And Powerball 38, 42 rather, 56, 68, 69. Powerball 4, Power Play 2. Good luck.
Good Monday morning coming up here on GMA. We are live in the UK with the latest as they honor Queen Elizabeth. King Charles and Queen Camilla preparing to return to Scotland for this morning's ceremonies. We are one-on-one with one of his former close advisors on how he's meeting this moment and what we can expect from him as a monarch. Also, Ukraine's rout of Russian troops taking back key territory lost during the war, how it can reshape the battlefield in the months ahead. All that and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
This month, the KSAT community is helping put on a race near and dear to our hearts. Head for the Cure. This year will be the 9th annual 5K Run Walk. Raises funds and awareness for those in the community with brain tumors. Erica Hernandez shows us why it continues to give back to so many.
3, 2, 1.
Year after
after year, the Boyle family laces up their shoes and runs or walks in memory of Jim Boyle.
I think it's also just a part of us missing him, number one, and he was such a part of us.
Jim was KSAT 12's former news director who was diagnosed with a brain tumor after suffering a seizure in September of 2013. The inoperable glioblastoma tumor later caused a brain bleed, and Jim died 6 months after being diagnosed.
If you haven't been through it, maybe it's hard to understand. So I think it's important to have a well-known community out there for support for people going through the same thing.
Jim's daughter, Erin, helped bring Head for the Cure to San Antonio, and in 2014, the race kicked off right outside KSAT 12 studios, not only in Jim's memory, but in memory of all those who are battling or who have passed from brain cancer.
It is a great way to celebrate loved ones who have been through a lot and to celebrate the community that forms around them.
9 years later, the race is still raising money and awareness, and Team Boyle over the years has raised more than $100,000. And again, this year's race route will go right here in front of KSAT 12. Registration is now open and will be open all the way until race day on September 24th. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And right now you can get $5 off registration with the promo code KSAT. You can find the info on how to register on KSAT.com, and we hope to see you there. Jim Boyle, you are still missed every single day by the staff here at that you helped make so successful. 5:57 right now, 72 degrees. Let's check TransGuide right now. 281 at 410, looking really good right now. See how things are looking on some of those other cameras. Traffic really building at 90. And there's I-37 at and these are really moving right now, moving faster than some of the traffic on some of the frontage roads. You're watching GMSA. We will be right back.
The people of Scotland given one final chance to say goodbye to their queen. I'm Inez de la Quatera in London, and I'll have all the latest coming up.
Outside with live cam as we wait for the sun to come up. It is noticeably less humid out there this morning, 72 degrees. And when I say it feels pretty nice, it does.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, September 12th.
You know, this morning is one of those mornings where if I wasn't working, I'd like to be on the porch with a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Enjoying it without the humidity.
Brilliant idea. Yeah, it's very, very comfortable out there this morning. And in places like the Texas Hill Country, Mike said it could even get a little bit cooler before the sun comes up.
Yeah, I think we'll drop down a couple of more degrees here as well. You can open up your windows this morning, just kind of let things sort of air out, but that sounds like a great idea. I love, on a morning like this where it's not too cool, but yeah, just cool enough to sit outside with a nice little cup of coffee. We've got some clear skies right now, and look at these temperatures. We're still at 62 Comfort, 65 now in Bulverde, 72 out there at the airport. Port SA is down to 69 degrees, and Rio Medina is at 66. The airport, I think we're going to be dropping down at least about another 3 degrees, going for the upper 60s here in town. And again, here's the reason for it. This very dry air with dew points down in the pretty much low 60s, even some upper 50s. Canyon Lake is still slightly more humid, but again, it's not just oppressively humid. It's much more comfortable, as we were talking about. Mold and Fall Elm are both on the moderate side this morning, and throughout the rest of the day, again, I think we drop down a couple of more degrees and then warm up very quickly throughout the morning because the dry air warms up very easily. Doesn't hold the heat in, heats up easily, and we'll make it all the way up to 89 at noon and then top off today at 95. 91's the normal low, so we are going to be on the warm side, but again, with the drier air, it's not going to be all that in-your-face kind of hot and humid. No heat index to deal with later on today, which is nice. Tomorrow, about the same situation, but then the humidity is going to start to return. We'll talk about that as well as rain chances later on in the week. Not get your hopes too high for rain chances, but at least there'll be one or two of them. Details in a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, anything going on?
I would say no, Mike. That's a no for over here. 35 at New Braunfels, 37 at Fair Avenue. Things look pretty fair this morning. Let's get a look around town. 281 at Evans. Not a lot to show you you out there. Thankfully, it has been a pretty quiet Monday morning as we get a new week started. But of course, you can see it's getting a little bit busier out there. This is that hour where we really start to see more traffic pick up on our roadways. But one of the things we have not spotted yet are any slowdowns. So that's good. Let's go ahead and take you to the map, because as we just continue to show you, there's a lot of active construction that continues to take place in our area. So you have to watch out for those road closures. And as the morning does stay quiet, we'll go ahead and bring you those updates. But for now, nothing's really hindering the commute, especially if you're going to be traveling into San Antonio from any of these communities. Let's check out those inbound times. The journey from Boerne right now looks like it's about 24 minutes in the eastbound lanes of I-10. Don't hurry if you're coming in from Bulverde on 281 southbound. You can expect a 27-minute drive time, and it's not awful if you're coming in from New Braunfels on 35 southbound. 25 minutes is what you can expect, but we know these times will change as more folks do get back out on the roadways. So you can see it there at 10 at Hackberry. Commute's getting a little bit busier. 35 at San Marcos, one of the busier spots in town. Of course, we'll watch the roads closely, and as always, make sure you do the same. Mark, Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, investigators are hoping you can help them solve a murder back from 2018. So police tell us the victim, 44-year-old Harriet Chase, was standing in the parking lot of a smokehouse on I-10 East, just east of Loop 410. That's when one of the two men standing nearby started shooting at him. He was hit once and then died at the scene. The suspects got away in a white vehicle. You can call Crime Stoppers if you have any information. That number on your screen right now, 224-STOP.
A man is behind bars after Schertz police say he attacked officers after he was found intoxicated on the side of a road early Sunday morning. 23-year-old Matthew Long is charged with 2 counts of assault on a peace officer and resisting arrest. Officers say they've found him passed out at FM 78 at River Road in Schertz. They tried to detain Long to, quote, keep him from endangering himself, but the situation escalated. Long, police say, punched an officer in the face and kicked others while resisting arrest. 2 officers were injured in the struggle. One of them had a fractured hand.
The investigation continues this morning after a man was killed during a shooting on the city's west side. It happened yesterday morning at the intersection of Latigo Drive and Rawhide Lane. We're told officers found a 17-year-old boy with a gunshot wound to his arm in a car parked in the middle of the street. Police say the teen was trying to help his older brother, who was shot in the head. He died at the hospital. No words on any suspects.
New details this morning on the war in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces are gaining ground and reclaiming Russian-held territory in a massive counteroffensive.
In Moscow, there is a new concern about Russian resources amid waning support for the war.
ABC's Justin Finch is tracking the latest this morning.
This morning, signs Ukraine is making headway in its wide-ranging counteroffensive. Ukrainian fighters raising their nation's flag in the area of Izium in the northeastern Kharkiv region. This map showing in blue more than 1,000 square miles of land Ukrainian officials say they've taken back near Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. In its nightly address, Ukraine's President Zelensky saying the path to victory is difficult, but that troops will manage. Already, Ukraine's escalating attacks are forcing Russians to retreat.
This operation was possible because of the resolve of the armed forces, because our commanders, from the president to every commander in the battlefield, are so devoted to the victory.
Back in Moscow, Putin celebrating the capital city's anniversary as the Kremlin is now under pressure to acknowledge it's facing war in Ukraine with strained resources to hold on to areas it's claimed. ABC's Ian Pannell says the tides are turning against Russia at a crucial time.
I mean, the options don't look great. I mean, there are very, very few. They're in real trouble right now. It can't resupply its troops. It doesn't have troop rotations. It's lacking in the equipment and the ammunition. And as I say, they're on the defensive everywhere.
Russia responded Sunday with attacks on infrastructure, leading to electricity outages and a power station fire that killed one. The massive Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant now shut down with fighting nearby. At the White House, President Biden not commenting on Ukraine's counteroffensive, saying only that, quote, things are in progress. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
President Joe Biden hoping to cut cancer deaths in half over the next 25 years. It's all part of the Cancer Moonshot initiative. He'll talk about the efforts in a speech later today. It's expected to draw parallels between the push to land on the moon in the 60s and Biden's own, quote, vision for another American moonshot, a future where we end cancer as we know it, end quote. Some of the goals include closing the screening gap, decreasing the impact of preventable cancers, and bringing cutting-edge research to patients and communities.
We're taking a live look outside of Buckingham Palace this morning. Queen Elizabeth II will lie in rest at St. Giles Cathedral today.
Meanwhile, the Queen's casket arrived in the Scottish capital yesterday afternoon, a 175-mile journey from her estate in Balmoral, where she died Thursday.
This is a story we're going to continue to follow closely. ABC's Ines de la Cotera in London this morning.
This morning, Britain's new king and queen consort meeting with members of parliament at Westminster Hall before traveling back to Scotland, joining other members of the royal family for a procession to St. Giles Cathedral, where the queen's coffin will lie in rest to allow the people of Scotland to pay their respects. The queen's final journey beginning on Sunday, her casket draped in the Scottish royal standard, adorned with a wreath of her favorite flowers, leaving her beloved Balmoral estate and taking the long road towards Edinburgh.
Just important to say goodbye. She's been on the throne for a long time. So, yeah, it means a lot.
Across the Scottish countryside, thousands lining the way to say goodbye.
She loved Ballater, she loved Royal Deeside, and we loved her as well.
Some even throwing flowers as the hearse drove by. In some places, farmers showing up with an honor guard of tractors.
It was the farming community doing their part to show their appreciation for what she'd done for agriculture.
Later down the road, a dozen horses paying tribute to the Queen, an equestrian in her younger years. And in Edinburgh, this final leg of the procession eventually met by members of the Royal Regiment of Scotland.
We're part of history standing here.
Some of the Queen's children greeting the coffin in silence, Princess Anne giving a curtsy. Charles III also formally proclaimed king in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales.
And the Queen will lie in state in London for 4 days starting on Wednesday. Members of the public are being warned to expect long lines and security checks, and visitors are also being asked to dress appropriately and stay silent once they're inside Westminster Hall. Ines de la Cotera, ABC News, London.
Back here at home, Hunger Action Month in full swing, and the San Antonio Food Bank still needs your help.
With inflation and rising cost of fuel, not only are local families hurting more financially, but the food bank's mission has become that much more expensive. So to help, just take out your phone, scan this QR code on your screen. It will take you to KSAT.com, where we have a list of the 12 most wanted food items that the food bank and RBFCU are collecting. You'll also find details on where you can drop off any donations throughout the month of September. There are more than 25 locations. Max Massey and myself will be live. More details on GMSA at 9.
All right, right now it is exactly 6:11, 72 degrees.
Still to come, the new King's former communications director is speaking out about him. You don't want to miss what he has to say. That's in your GMA First Look.
And after the break, we'll introduce you to a little girl raising awareness about childhood cancer.
Step outside if you haven't yet. 72 degrees. That humidity dropped overnight. It's really nice outside. Mike will let us know how long this will stick around for when we come back. Well, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the ribbon to support is colored gold.
A local 9-year-old girl is battling leukemia, and she wants the rest of San Antonio to join in her fight by going gold. Mia Perez was diagnosed New Year's Day 2021. She's in remission now and counting down the 36 weeks until she's completed her treatment. Her street is lined with supportive signs, but the Golden Touch stretches 83 miles west of down Highway 90 to a community that obviously is covered in maroon. Mia's cousin Tess Mata was one of the 21 victims killed at Robb Elementary School. Teresa, Mia's mom, says they wouldn't have been able to get through this difficult time without each other.
With Mia's cancer diagnosis, you know, the whole family's there to support her. With Tess's passing, the whole family's there to support each other.
Now they're hoping San Antonio will support them by going gold and donating to childhood cancer research. There's a local nonprofit called Gabriella's Smile Foundation. Mia is partnering with them, so right now head to KSAT.com. We have a link to Mia's fundraising site where you can donate to help others like her.
As we approach 6:15, I tried to sneak a peek at TransGuide, and I'm not seeing anything out there right now. Stephen, what's up?
I'm not complaining. My job's been pretty easy this morning, guys. So we are just watching some quiet roads. Traffic picking up a little bit there at 37 at Fair Avenue, but let's get a quick look around town. 281 at Evans is one of those spots where we will see some slowdowns as the morning does pick up. But check out 410 at San Pedro. Wow, we have a lot of folks out there this morning. But as we continue to have that TransGuide on rotation, you can see some areas I would say are still pretty quiet. 410 at Culebra and 37 at Jones Avenue. It's just getting busier, but thankfully nothing is slowing drivers down at this point. But I think I may have just jinxed myself. This was not there earlier. That crash icon that you're seeing right there along 410 and 90. I'll take a closer look, get our friends at TransGuide on the phone, find out exactly what's going on, what the conditions look like, but more importantly, if everybody's okay. We hope everybody's okay as always, but we'll watch that area closely and let you know how that impacts the commute. One of the other things to be on the lookout for is just some road work that's going to continue. If you're just waking up with us, plan your commute ahead of time because I-10 here in East Bexar County, barrier work will continue. It started on Friday, September 9th, and it will continue one more night, Monday, September 12th. That's today. 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you can expect that work to take place. And it's during that time, you'll see a full closure of the westbound main lanes from File Road to Loop 1604. But you know where to find that information. KSAT.com/traffic. Open your cameras on your phone, tap the center of the screen, and that will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page, and that has a list of all the closures taking place in and around the Alamo City, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. And Mike, nice morning for the kiddos waiting at the bus.
Yeah, very nice morning. As a matter of fact, in parts of the Hill Country, you might want, and even northern Bexar County, you might want a light sweatshirt, although something with a name tag in it and stuff in the backpack so they don't lose it later on today because you won't need it later on this afternoon. 69 degrees when it's all said and done, mostly clear skies, and then a high temperature today is going to make it up to 95, which that number is about 4 above normal, but with the lower humidity that we have, it's going to feel more comfortable, especially in the shade. Speaking of which, a couple of little leaves out there. Great picture. Yes, it was a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. The humidity was still kind of there in the first portion of the day, but of course by late in the afternoon the humidity did start to drop down somewhat. And we've got some clear skies out there as of right now. 63 Bernie Stage, 62 Comfort, and 72 out there at the airport. Normal low is 71, so we're almost where we should be. I think we'll end up just a couple of notches below that, again thanks to this dry air with these dew points down pretty much in the low 60s and even some upper 50s. Still just a tad more humid there at Canyon Lake. And the KSAT 12-hour forecast, it's going to warm up very quickly once that sun comes up. So again, we'll bottom out at 69, but then already up to 75 at 9 o'clock, 89 at noon, and then we'll finish up at 95 later on today. Again, plenty of sunshine and maybe one little cloud or two. Going into the future, nothing going on today, nothing going on then tomorrow as well, just again 1 or 2 clouds out here, but the humidity will start to work its way back in here by later on tomorrow evening, so perhaps an extra cloud or 2. Wednesday, a few showers there along the coast, and this long-range model again tends to kind of paint things with a broad brush here, so 1 or 2 showers going to be possible Thursday, and then even going into Friday, 1 or 2 showers possible, maybe on Saturday as well. But again, the big difference being slightly more humidity, and with temperatures at 95 today as well as tomorrow, I think with the extra cloud cover, that's going to hold temperatures down just a couple of notches back closer to normal readings as we go into this weekend. So we've got this area of high pressure right now, which had been the dominant feature, and that's what, in combination with that low that was kind of sitting off to the east of us, was keeping us in that northerly flow, getting these little disturbances moving on through here. Well, now it's the big low in the Great Lakes, and that pulled that front through here, which, yeah, it's not the big fall front we all wait for. Obviously a little bit drier air and winds slightly out of the north, so that'll continue to be the situation today. First part of the day tomorrow, then everything starts to shift and the high takes over. That's going to start to pull in some more humidity around here. And so, yeah, you kind of feel these temperatures a bit more, although we will be in the lower 90s as opposed to mid 90s going in toward the weekend. And as we go in toward the latter part of the weekend, that high is going to kind of move almost right on top of us. And that's going to Well, just make us kind of on the hot side, it looks like, for most all then of next week. So the forecast today will be up to 89 degrees, mostly sunny skies today at noon, and then high temperature is going to make it up to 95. Again, 4 above normal, mostly sunny skies. Tomorrow, another really pleasant morning. We'll be down once again right around 70, and then the humidity starts to work its way back in here. 94 on Wednesday, and low temperatures won't be as cool. A few degrees above normal. High temperatures down right around the low 90s. More clouds, a couple of showers here or there, maybe Thursday through the weekend.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. Coffee on the back patio.
Back porch.
Right.
There's just one catch to that whole idea. We've got to be here at work this morning. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. We've got
Happy to be here, though.
And I'm glad you're here too. We got to schedule one of these on a weekend.
Okay.
All right. And then you're still working.
I'm always here.
Darn it.
I never leave.
Yeah. 620. She lives right upstairs here.
Right.
Rent is steep. 621, 72 degrees.
Manu just had a big honor for Spurs great Manu Ginobili, plus his thoughts on the Spurs fans here in San Antonio.
Ladies, 6 minutes, please. This is my life. It's not always picture perfect. Plus, I'm dealing with bleeding from uterine fibroids. Enter MyFembry, a once-daily pill for women with heavy menstrual bleeding due to uterine fibroids.
With MyFembry, heavy bleeding went down by 84%. Serious risks include heart attack, stroke, and blood clots. Don't take MyFembry if you've had any of these or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, are over 35 and smoke, could be pregnant, or have or had osteoporosis, liver disease, undiagnosed vaginal bleeding, certain cancers, or an allergic reaction to it. Don't use longer than 2 years as bone loss may occur. Pregnancy loss can occur and changes in periods may make it hard to know if you're pregnant. If you think you are, stop taking it right away. Other risks are depression, suicidal thoughts or actions, abnormal liver tests, high blood pressure, and passing of the fibroid.
Less bleeding, same life? I'll take it.
Ask your doctor about MyFembry.
My life, MyFembry.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new insight on King Charles III from one of his longtime advisors.
I've never met anyone who has a deeper understanding of self.
Patty Harverson once helped the former prince write speeches. As a communications director to the royal family, he helped shape Charles's image. And this morning, he's sharing his unique perspective with ABC's Deborah Roberts.
Do you truly feel he's ready now for this moment?
Yeah, 100%. He's clearly the best prepared monarch we've ever had. He's the hardest working person I've ever known. I mean that. He never stops. There isn't a day in the year he isn't working.
If the Queen's mantra was all about duty and diligence and responsibility, here in 2022, what is this King's mantra, do you think?
The same. Absolutely the same.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of our interview, plus full live coverage and all the latest details from the United Kingdom. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
In case you missed it over the weekend, Manu Ginobili was officially enshrined into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. The legendary point guard won 4 NBA titles here in the Alamo City alongside his Hall of Fame presenter, Tim Duncan. He also led Argentina to Olympic gold back in 2004. After the festivities, KSAT's Greg Simmons caught up with Manu.
Yes and no. It's strange. I never lived for individual accomplishments, as I said before. But I love having some of my former teammates, coaches, Argentinian teammates, because again, it's a recognition to those two teams, especially, to celebrate them. And the thing I always cared the most about was about the teams. So I'm very glad to be here and celebrating with them.
Again, congratulations, Manu. The city still loves you. You can see more of this story with Greg Simmons online at KSAT.com.
Well deserved. Thank you, Manu. All right, 626 and 72 degrees.
We have more heading your way. Traffic right now. See how things are looking out there at 410 at Culebra. Also coming up,
Local leaders are saying what local leaders are saying about the state of our economy. We'll be right back.
Right now at 6:30, a crushing blow for the Dallas Cowboys. What we know about Dak Prescott's injury.
72 degrees, 6:30 this morning. Beautiful morning, lower humidity. How long will that low humidity stick around for? And will we see rain later in the week? Mike will let us know just a bit.
Let's get our Monday rolling. It is September 12th. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy to be here for Steph on this Monday morning. Mike, beautiful weather out there this morning.
I know you'd rather be out drinking coffee on your back porch, but yeah, it's that kind of a morning. It's really nice. You can probably roll down the windows and enjoy it, kind of air out the house a little bit. We've got some clear skies out there, and temperatures are really, really nice. We're just about down to where we should be. 71 is the normal low. We're at 72 right now, and that number is down a good 5, 6, 7 degrees overall compared to this time yesterday. No wind to speak of, so with mostly clear skies, no wind, and relatively dry air, that's what's allowing these temperatures to drop down. 65 at Rio Medina right now, 64 just up the road in Bulverde, Bernie Stage at 63, low 60s in the Hill Country. And again, these numbers are fantastic. 60 for a dew point in Bulverde, really pleasant. So when you hit 60 and below that, it's very comfortable, and that's the situation obviously heading out into the hill country as well. So, and with that, I think we're going to be dropping down just a couple of more notches before it's all said and done. Mold and fall elm are both on the moderate side. So this morning, very nice, downright cool in the hill country. Might need a sweatshirt for the kids as they are heading off to school, maybe waiting for the bus. Mostly sunny, hot, but again, low humidity today. Then tomorrow, pretty much the same thing starting off. We'll start to see the return of the humidity, and then end of the week, yeah, it's going to feel a bit more here. I think with the extra cloud cover and a couple of showers, we'll keep temperatures down. We'll be at 95 today, tomorrow, and then just low 90s rest of the week. And again, those couple of showers there, and at least near normal temperatures by the end of the week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, anything big out there?
No, Mike, it's actually been a great start. In fact, if you're still at home, I would say don't rush your morning routine. Thankfully, you don't have to worry about any slowdowns just yet. But let's get a look around town, because obviously it's gotten a lot busier. 90 at Nogalitos, you can see there, and 281 right by the airport. We are seeing the commute now already picking up. We're inching closer minute by minute to morning rush, so we'll likely start to see those slowdowns. But I'd say right now, just enjoy your morning routine while you can. I-10 at Frio, you can see traffic already getting pretty busy there. We take you to the map, and as I mentioned, one of the things that we continue to watch closely are those slowdowns, but there are in the usual spots that you can expect. So of course, you see a little bit of orange that is building over there on the northwest side of 1604, not far from Helotes. But other than that, there's no major incidents to report just yet. Let's take out those this particular incident, though, because it's been quiet, but I do want folks to check their vehicles before they get out on the roadways. Assault reported off I-35 southbound at Rittiman Road. Good news there, though. Those southbound lanes, as you can see, are still in the green. Something that's not in the green anymore is 281 southbound there at Bulverde. We notice that it's a little bit of a yellow already building, so 28 minutes. So that slowdown is already starting, guys. But like I mentioned, no major incidents are causing a big issue out on the road just yet. We're going to watch the roads closely and have more updates right here on GMSA. Mark, Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. Top story this morning. The director of the Texas Department of Public Safety says he now wishes state troopers had seized control of the botched police response to the mass shooting in Uvalde. Speaking to USA Today, Steve McGraw has largely blamed local police for failing to act promptly to stop the shooter. The Texas Department of Public Safety director had previously told lawmakers that he did not think it was feasible for troopers to have assumed command. But when asked by USA Today why his agency didn't take over the reins of the police response, McGraw said, quote, "I wish we would have," end quote. Law enforcement waited more than an hour to confront the gunman who killed 21 people at Robb Elementary School on May 24th. That's contrary to active shooter training that teaches officers to take down a shooter as soon as possible.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection has deactivated the agency's Twitter account for the West Texas region. That's after it retweeted posts criticizing President Joe Biden's border policies. It also liked posts that made what it calls gay slurs against U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. The Border Patrol Commissioner says his agency's Office of Professional Responsibility will investigate. On Saturday, the account retweeted posts by Stephen Miller that criticized Biden's immigration policies and claimed the government was ignoring violent crime. Miller was the architect of former President Donald Trump's hardline immigration policies.
Well, there's a lot of talk recently about the economy, interest rates, and jobs, but what impact are we seeing here in our community? During our leading essay segment on Sunday morning, Workforce Solutions Alamo CEO Adrian Lopez joined us live to break it all down.
September is Workforce Development Month, and Adrian Lopez joined us. We talked about a lot. We talked about the high market participation. We talked about how the unemployment rate now is not too far off of what it was pre-pandemic. And we also talked about the new partnership between Workforce Solutions Alamo and the food bank. Here's a little bit of our conversation.
When we see the numbers of thousands of people who are lined up to seek out food assistance and are in their most vulnerable time, that's where we want to be. And that's what this partnership actually represents, the power of partnership between Workforce Solutions Alamo and the San Antonio Food Bank. So we have a satellite office that now is operating there. So as people are receiving food and signing up for benefits, they also have an opportunity to actually receive services from Workforce Solutions Alamo.
You can check out the full discussion right now. Just head to the Leading Essay section of KSAT.com. We have Leading Essay every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
Well, 2 different health organizations are giving out the COVID-19 vaccine booster shots in San Antonio this week. Here's what you need to know. Starting today, University Health will be offering Pfizer's version to people 12 years and older with no appointment needed. Metro Health is offering the Moderna version as it's at its clinics and pop-up vaccination sites. This will be first come, first serve basis because supplies are limited. These new updated booster shots fight against the COVID-19 Omicron variant and its highly contagious subvariants BA4 and BA5. For more information on how you can get your booster, head to our website, KSAT.com.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Monday Night Football is back, and tonight you can see all the action right here on KSAT 12. Legendary broadcast duo Joe Buck and Troy Aikman make their Monday Night Football debut with ESPN as the Denver Broncos face the Seattle Seahawks. That game starts tonight at 7:15. But first, coming up next on Good Morning America, they're getting the tailgate party started. Not only will they be live from Seattle with a preview, they're also highlighting some of the incredible female coaches working across the NFL. That's next on GMA starting at 7 o'clock. Well, now to the story has a lot of people buzzing in the sports world this morning. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott will need surgery on a fractured bone in his throwing hand after he was hurt last night during their season opener. He will miss several weeks, up to 8 weeks possibly. Injury happened in the fourth quarter of the season opener against Tom Brady and the Bucs. Prescott's right hand made contact with rushing linebacker when throwing a pass. He says he initially thought he just jammed a finger, but realized in the next play he could not grip the ball. After initially being checked on the sideline, he jogged to the locker room and had x-rays. Backup quarterback Cooper Rush finished the game. Final score, Bucs win at 19-3. And here's what Dak had to say after the game.
In the game, just in the midst of it, thought I jammed it. I mean, I've hit my hand on helmets or bodies a lot in my career, and never really had anything, maybe a jammed finger here, and I actually thought that's what it was. Just the next play, realized I couldn't grip the ball. Let the sideline know. And then when I got off, I told the trainers the same thing. I was just like, I can't grip. I feel like if you yank it, I'll be okay. And no, came in, got x-rays, and things are different.
What have they told you to expect in terms of how long you'll be out?
I just got to go see the doctor tomorrow. Plans to see him surgery tomorrow and let me know once they get in there, they see everything. I was told it was much cleaner than it could have been.
All right, we're hearing 6 to 8 weeks after surgery. Cooper Rush has been named the starter. Next up, Dallas takes on the Cincinnati Bengals. Sunday afternoon kickoff set for 3:25 at AT&T Stadium. We've seen the Houston Texans take an active role in bringing comfort to those affected by the school shooting in Uvalde, and they kept their word by having the Uvalde high school football team in attendance yesterday as the Texans hosted their rivals from Indianapolis. Game went into overtime. There was the Uvalde football team. Colts could have won on a 42-yard field goal, but it was no good. Houston never really got a good chance to score either. Texans had a 3rd and 1 across midfield late in overtime, but they lost yardage and instead punted instead of going for it. Final score 20-20. Texans tie things up with Indy. Next up for Houston, they'll take on the Broncos in Denver. Sunday afternoon kickoff set for 3:25 at Empower Field at Mile High Stadium in Denver.
All right, it's 6:39, 71 degrees. Chronic pain is an epidemic that's getting worse after the break some advice from experts on how to deal with it.
6:43, more than 50 million Americans, that's a lot of folks, deal with chronic pain every single day. That is 1 in 5 Americans.
Researchers say the total value of lost productivity due to chronic pain is nearly $300 billion a year. So now guidelines are outlining new ways to cope with this all too common problem, from knee pain to back pain and all the pains in between. The UK-based National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, known as NICE, has recently updated its guidelines for managing chronic pain. The group recommends against starting on pain drugs like opioids.
There have been a lot more people that have chronic pain that do have an addiction to opioids, and instead of being able to get them through prescriptions, they're kind of turning to the black market. And some of the opioids are laced with other more potent drugs such as fentanyl.
That UK-based institute, NICE, also endorses proven therapies for managing chronic pain, such as exercise and cognitive behavioral therapy and acupuncture. CDC's new draft guidelines for treating pain. Physical therapy is one of the main recommended approaches, and experts say a combination of them might offer the most effective relief.
All right, 644, 71 degrees. Stephen, anything pretty slow morning.
Yeah, it's just been one of the slowest mornings we've had actually in a while, Mark and Sarah. So as we get a look there, 281 at the airport, 1604 at Pack Booker over on the northeast side. And then even there at 281, you can see that traffic is picking up for sure. You can see it on the TransGuide cameras, but thankfully we're not seeing any major incidents out there that are causing a slowdown for drivers. Of course, it's all the usual spots that we're seeing that in. Of course, 90 over here on the west side of Bexar County. We also see it 1604 over on the northwest, but nothing else really to talk about. The main headline of the morning has been those usual slowdowns. So we have to go ahead and bring you in right over here, though, because I do want to remind folks, check your vehicles before you get out on the roadway. We have a stall that's been reported there at 410 eastbound at Babcock. Those eastbound lanes of 410 tend to pick up pretty quickly. So you see that buildup already taking place, stretching a little bit further back past Callahan Road. Area, of course, we're going to watch closely, but it does appear that stall vehicle is off in the shoulder lane. But let's take it back here to TransGuide. There, Culebra Road, it is getting busier. Of course, thankfully, we're crossing our fingers. It stays pretty quiet in terms of incidents, but we'll be watching things closely, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. That beautiful sunrise out there. Mike, every once in a while, it's nice to be a tourist in our own town.
Yep. Gorgeous and beautiful evening and walk on the Riverwalk. Tonight's going to be a great evening to take a little stroll on the Riverwalk. The sun is going to be going down about 7:30-ish, right around there, and it's going to be really nice. And the moon's going to be coming up just a couple of days past full. Yeah, that'll be a nice night for a stroll. And speaking of nice strolls, go take a walk this morning. Got a couple of clouds hanging around here. Otherwise, plenty of clear skies. Going to be a good-looking sunrise. 61 now, Bernie Stage. Low 60s Hill Country. 72 at the airport. The average is 71, so we're in the ballpark. And, of course, we've got some very dry air here. And I think with the clear skies and fairly dry air, light wind will drop down a couple of more degrees. And then throughout the rest of the morning, warm already up to 79 at 10 o'clock. Add 10 to that by noon. Plenty of sunshine, and add another 6 to that. So we're going to make it up to 95 degrees later on today, about 4 above normal. So definitely on the hot side with the temperature reading, but with the humidity being on the lower side, it's going to feel much more comfortable, especially in the shade. Of course, we had yesterday, again, a couple of the showers that showed up, going back 12 hours on the radar loop there, just a couple of them. And that's not going to be the situation today just because the air is so dry right now. But notice how we did have that flow coming in here out of the north around the big high pressure off to the west of us, and that low that was hanging around here. Speaking of that, low up there in the Great Lakes, huge rain producer, delayed some college football games on Saturday. Ton of rain around Chicago. That's what pulled the front through here, that low up there in the Great Lakes, and that's why we've got the drier air in place. Not the big cold, fall cold front we're always looking forward to, but at least to pull in some drier air. Quick check on the tropics. Nothing. We're 2 days past, the peak of the tropical season when the most activity is, and there is one little spot there in the middle of the Atlantic that Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on, one over there at the coast of Africa, but nothing otherwise. Danielle and Earl both kind of fizzle on out. There's the high, which had been kind of keeping these little disturbances coming in here from the north, and there's that huge low in the Great Lakes, which pulled the front on through here. That will continue to move out. High is going to sort of take over a little bit more, and so that's what's keeping us on the hot side. Then it starts to work its way off to the east a little bit more, and this will signal the return of some humidity around here. Latter half of the week, maybe a stray shower or two here or there by, say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, perhaps going into late in the weekend. Then by first of next week, that high is going to kind of park right on top of us, and that's going to give us some hotter temperatures and pretty much no chance for any rain around here. You'd like to see that high way off to the west and low around the Great Lakes again, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Details today. We're going to be up to 89 degrees at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 95 today, so definitely on the warm side, but with the low humidity, it will be more comfortable out there in the shade. Same thing tomorrow. Another very pleasant start tomorrow, but then the humidity is going to begin its return. And it's not like it's going to be ridiculously humid, but you'll notice it more than what is the case today. And that chance of rain by latter part of the week into the weekend.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. 6:49, 71 degrees.
All right, coming up later this morning on GMSA at 9, Max Massey, he'll be live to talk about Hunger Action Month. You can help right now by taking out your phone and scanning this QR code that's on your screen. I'll take you to KSAT.com, where we have a list of the 12 most wanted food items that the Food Bank and RBFCU are collecting. You'll also find details on where you can drop off any donations throughout the month of September.
Outside with Live Cam, we have a beautiful sunrise out there. Just take a look at your screen right now out of 410 looking eastward. It's going to be a beautiful Monday here in South Texas. We'll wrap up GMSA after this commercial break.
Good Monday morning coming up here on GMA. We are live in the UK with the latest as they honor Queen Elizabeth. King Charles and Queen Camilla preparing to return to Scotland for this morning's ceremonies. We are one-on-one with one of his former close advisors on how he's meeting this moment and what we can expect from him as a monarch. Also, Ukraine's rout of Russian troops taking back key territory lost during the war, how it can reshape the battlefield in the months ahead. All that and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
I'm concerned, like any American should be.
The Justice Department says it needs continued access to the classified documents seized from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. According to the DOJ, it's a matter of national security.
Classified, yes, top secret. But the consequences of the wrong people seeing this, the wrong people getting their hands on this, is significant.
Former Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says he's worried the documents could identify U.S. intelligence sources. He says this public battle over them could make allies think twice about providing the U.S. with information.
We can't do it without partners. We can't do it without allies.
A judge has paused the DOJ's review of the documents. She wants to appoint a special master to filter out potentially privileged information first. But the Justice Department says it needs to see the documents now. Trump's response to that request due this morning.
I would have been so much more respectful of the department and of this attorney general if they turned around and said, you know what, good idea to have a special master. We have nothing to hide.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
6:54.
We're going to check in with Stephen one more time.
I've had a pretty easy morning, guys, and I'm not complaining about that. Drivers out there really don't have a lot to be on the lookout for, just a few other vehicles. It is morning rush, so just watch out. Obviously, we know the roads are going to be busier. We start there in the map, and we see the usual slowdowns, and I'll step out of the way so you can see it off of 90 over there where the orange is already starting to build up. Of course, we also are seeing that on the northwest side of 1604, as well as 35 coming into San Antonio. But just be on the lookout. We still have this stall reported in a pretty busy spot in the eastbound lanes of 410 right near Babcock, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Good looking start to the day, and it feels really nice out there. A couple of clouds, and it's going to be a beautiful sunrise. Sun's going to be coming up in about 20 minutes or so. We are now at 70 at the airport, 61 Bernie Stage. Boy, it's a great morning out there and very low humidity, too, so that's what makes it so comfortable. Throughout the day, we're going to warm up quickly. 89 at noon, 95 high temperature today, so on the warm side, but with the low humidity, again, it will be comfortable. Same thing tomorrow. Then the humidity begins its return. Temperatures will be low 90s throughout the rest of the week, and then we'll have a small chance for a couple of showers by late in the week and then going on into the weekend.
Tropic still pretty quiet right now, Mike?
Yeah, nothing out there right now. A couple
really
little spots that they're kind of going, yeah, so that's about it.
Wow.
Very interesting. All right, Mike, thank you. Stephen, thank you very much as well.
Thank you so much for joining us. GMA is next. We'll see you back here for GMSA at 9.
News, weather, and traffic updates throughout GMA. Have a good one.